Hello guys, Ryan Ho back in another video. Today I want to talk about the Logitech G Pro wireless. Now this mouse, I got it after I bought my Logitech G403 because I wanted it to be a wireless mouse. And it's because a lot of times my old mouse, sometimes having a wire gets like caught on stuff. While the wireless mouse, you don't really need a lot of desk space to be able to use it without your mouse getting caught on things, as well as obviously the wireless capability has proven itself through a professional Overwatch team that's really good. So you can trust that the mouse delay will not be substantial at all and it works. And yeah, those are kind of the reasons why. And then another reason is like kind of the comfort. I felt like my old mouse it felt a little too big and kind of there's some discomfort. So I'll tell you guys about that. And yeah, if you guys like my video, please like and subscribe down below. It helps me out, and let's begin. So let's talk about the build of this mouse. The build of this mouse is actually all plastic, which I think I like compared to the rubberized texture of my G403. Because you can see that it kind of breaks down over time. I've had this for over like 3 years, and you can see it just doesn't look well over time. Versus when you use the Logitech G Pro wireless, it's all plastic, so you don't suffer the same penalties, as well as it's very light compared to that mouse as well. It's about 80 grams, which is very, very light. So it gets less exhausting to move around. But I didn't really find other mouse to be that exhausting. But lighter typically makes it easier for you to use over long periods of time. Of course, some people like heavier mouse because it gives them better control. It just depends on who you are. The buttons. So there's 2 buttons up here. You got another 2 over here. You can actually, because this is an ambidextrous mouse, there's actually 2 more buttons over here. So you can swap. You can put 2 buttons over here instead if you're left-handed instead of right-handed. And then you can actually use it as 4. I haven't tried that, but you can put 2 more buttons here, so you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buttons, which could be useful if you're playing games and you want to access your abilities faster and easier through these. So moving to the bottom of the mouse, you see the feet. I find the feet really nice and they glide. I never really had a problem with them over my mouse pad. Then we have on and off switch, which turns it on and off so you can save battery life. Obviously the sensor. And then right here we have a DPI button that you can change. I like how they put it on the bottom because I've mentioned in my other review of my Logitech G403, because it's on top, I would actually push it a lot. So I basically just disabled it because I didn't want to. For this one, I kind of did the same thing as well. But it's because it's on the bottom, it's really hard to like accidentally press it when you don't mean to. I find that a much better improvement in design as well. And overall, I think this mouse is kind of small on the smaller end, so I think a lot of people who are used to bigger mouse might not like it, or if you have bigger hands, you probably couldn't use it. But this mouse is kind of superior to a lot of mouses on the market because, one, it's wireless, but wireless gets people worried because of lag. But then you have teams like in Overwatch. There's the London Spitfire, which literally won the tournament. The whole team used the Logitech G Pro wireless and won Overwatch League. And if that doesn't prove to you anything, that the wireless lag is basically not important, or the technology is so good that you don't feel any lag, that a pro esports team could win. I think that makes this product so good because it's been proven by a team that can use this to win. And I think that's why it's so popular too right now. And I think it's a good on Logitech part to prove to everybody in the world that its wireless technology is that good. So the reason why I went to Logitech G403 to the G Pro wireless is because obviously I wanted wireless. That's one of the biggest things that was kind of annoying for me with this mouse, is that if my desk isn't that big, this cable would get caught on to places and it would kind of drag and make it inconsistent when you're using it. Imagine just like pulling it and something's getting caught on or pushing it, and it was just not fun at all. Versus using this mouse, I don't have to worry about having big desk area or big space for my cable to move, because the wireless really makes your shot more consistent. It wasn't because like, oh yeah, wireless is more convenient, you don't have to plug it in. It's actually kind of more inconvenient because you have to charge it. But the good thing is this battery is like over 60 hours, so it could last you a week easily, unless you play video games like more than 10 hours a day, then you're not going to make it for a whole week. The other reason that I swap mouses too is because for some reason over time, this hump of my mouse kind of started to irritate my palm. Like when you're holding it, it's such a big like increase in height that it actually annoyed my palms. And with this mouse, it's much more slower and more even gradual. And because of the ambidextrous mouse, both the left and right side are the same, which you could say it might be worse than comfort, but I think it's perfectly fine. Of course, I kind of find the mouse just a tad bit small for myself, but in general, it works really well. So let's talk about the Logitech G Pro wireless software. So we have the mouse. You can see it actually tells you how many approximate hours right here on the top left. And it has onboard memory, which is also nice. So you can take the mouse to any computer, it'll remember settings and play it. Versus other mouses, you have to have different software on the computer. So you use this setting, it'll detect what's stored on the computer. But with the onboard memory, you'll have the settings saved, which is nice. And next we can have all the buttons that we can customize. So we have the forward, back, left, right buttons, as well as you have different DPI. So on the bottom of the mouse, you can change the DPI. I actually just use 1600, but because the DPI button's on the very bottom, I don't really change it, but I could simply just change this to one level. So just in case if I ever hit it on accident, it won't change. So I might do that eventually since I don't actually use this. It's just more of a detriment than a benefit for me. I actually like how you can store different profiles as well if you want to change it, but realistically, are you really going to be changing that often? Probably not. But if there's multiple people using it, you could use different profiles. And then next we have the lighting zone. So you can have the logo on, you can have it off, it'll save battery. You can have your different DPIs, you can have it not change and change as well. And then you have color cycles, brightness, and then rate. Yeah, maybe I'll slow it down even more actually. But yeah, you can change your settings here. And then next we actually have a straight up battery. So before it says 45 hours remaining in the title screen, this actually shows you like what percentage you're at. And then you can actually have different lighting presets. Of course, I set to my customized one, but the cool thing is it shows your power consumption right here. So like if I went, it's 50 hours, right? So if I went lights off, I can actually get 14 more hours of my mouse. So less charging time for myself. But for me, I think the RGB lighting's fine. I actually think it's nice if you're playing at night and you can just find your mouse a little faster, so that's nice. Moving on to the key press heat map. I still haven't used this on any of the mouse. I don't see why you would need it unless you want to see what buttons you push the most, but it's just kind of there. And yeah, that's basically the Logitech software. So in conclusion, I think this mouse is really good. It's wireless capabilities to perform really, really well. You can trust that it'll work and there's no delay or anything when you're using it. And I think the shape of the mouse, the ambidextrous, which is nice for people who want to use it with a left-handed or right-handedness. And I like the buttons, the clickiness, and overall the whole entire plastic build guarantees that without the rubber, it won't break down over time. And then there's additional buttons you can put on the left side and right side, so you can technically get not only two on the left, but two on the right if you wanted to as well. So it gives you extra customized. And overall, I would really recommend this mouse. This is probably one of the best mouses you can buy, period. Like literally one of the best mouse. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to hang on to this for a long time until the next best thing, if there is anything. And of course, there probably always is. And if you guys like my video, please subscribe down below and comment if you guys have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. When I like to test my mouse, I like to just kind of push buttons as fast as possible and see like, okay, how comfortable is it? Does it respond well when I move it around? And I typically do things like this. It just emulates exactly how I would use it. And when you do something like that, you can kind of see if it's really made for you, if it just clicks when you use it. If it doesn't click, then obviously it's not the mouse for you. But if it does, then you're in luck because you might have found your perfect mouse.